Thanks, guys. That porridge was just right. You're probably wondering why I'm talking about porridge. We're all familiar with the story about Goldilocks and the three bears. She goes in their house and tries out a few things, and when she tries the porridge, one is too hot and one is too cold and one is just right. And right now we have a really strong case for getting our change effort and delivery just right in this climate of continuous and complex change. So how do we know when something is just right? People ask me this all the time, and if you've worked in an agile environment, you will be familiar with the term minimum viable product, which we affectionately know as MVP in change and project land. So with more projects taking on this agile approach, there's a more compelling need and demand of the change practitioners to actually come up with an approach and a plan that is just right. So what I mean by that is it's right-sized for that particular change project at that time. So people often ask me, Lena, how do I know what that right size is? How do I know where to draw that line, right? And I say to them, look, it is really just like saying how long is a piece of string, how do you measure it? And it's not that easy. But there are some tips that I can give you, and there'll be more detail on these tips in my blog, but there are some tips that I can give you about tweaking your mindset a little bit so you can really start to think about what is just right for my piece of work that I need to deliver now. Okay, so the first one is let go of perfection. If you're attached to the need for a perfect document, you need to let go of that and start delivering stuff that's iterative and producing documentation and work that's iterative and it's there for the discussion. The second point is, yes, draw a line, but be mindful that that line may move because requirements and things change. And so don't get attached to that line. I say to people, draw that line, but draw it in pencil so you can always rub it out and then move it so it's a flexible line. And then if you always take the human-centric approach, which is people at the centre of what you do, then you will stay on the right track as well. So keep that people-centric approach in your change plans and don't be frightened to experiment. That's tip number 4. Okay, be bold, be a little bit brave and step out of your comfort zone so you can experiment a little bit and you'll eventually know exactly what's just right. And those type of mindset tweaks will help you uncover what is just right for that piece of work you have at hand now with the people you're going to be having the conversation with. So go and read my blog on www.lenaross.com.au and you'll find a little bit more about this. Thanks, guys.